Being a bereaved mother. I am 1 in 4. October is National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, actually. So this month, um, hospitals, other organizations will recognize um, miscarriage, infant loss, and stillbirth parents and families during this month, just to help raise awareness. It's not something that is commonly talked about. So um, during this month, just like it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and every month has an awareness usually. Um, this month focuses on those of us who have lost children. The statistics show that usually, on average, 2,000 women in the United States lose a baby in one of these three ways every day. And 1 in 4 women will experience a miscarriage, infant loss, or stillbirth at some point in their life. My personal story is starting in November of 2012. My husband and I found out that we were expecting twins, and this picture here just shows that picture that we took back then when we found out we were having twins, and that's actually my ultrasound picture there. Um, we had a very long appointment that day when they found out there were multiples. So, in breaks between the office and sitting in the waiting room, we took these pictures, and we were so happy, and started making plans for how we were going to prepare our home and vehicle space, and getting to actually tell our parents and other family and friends. So we waited until that Christmas to tell them that we were expecting twins. In January of 2013, I was 14 weeks pregnant, and I started just feeling bad one day. I didn't know what was going on. I felt confused, and I told my husband, there's just something not right. So I went to the doctor first thing um, that morning after they opened, and I was just able to talk to him and tell him some things, and they did an ultrasound, and in that ultrasound, they found out that the babies did not have a heartbeat any longer. Um, so I had to go home that night, and the next day go to the hospital, and they were able to um, deliver the babies, and we never got to see them just for medical reasons, um, but we got through that time by just knowing that God was our comforter, and having our family and our friends just love on us and support us during that time. And it changed me. Going through that, just it gives you a whole new perspective on life, and just cherishing those moments, even though we didn't have a living child with us or living children with us. Just being able to not take things for granted, and um, it just changed me. It changed my husband as well. So at the end of 2013, shortly after going through the loss of the twins, we found out we were pregnant again with a little boy, and we named him Samuel. Samuel is now 3 years old, and he is wild and crazy, but we love him. With my husband being a youth pastor, um, we joke all the time and say he's 3 going on 13, because he is just around teenagers all the time. So he thinks that he is as old as they are. I put two pictures here. The one on the left is him when he was 2 months old, and the one on the right is his latest school picture that he got done last month. So he's changed quite a bit. But we, in the bereavement community, your baby born after a loss of a child, they're called your rainbow baby, and he is truly our rainbow baby. So, um, around Sam's first birthday, um, we kind of had an idea that we may be pregnant again. January 2015, that was confirmed, and we were expecting another baby, this time only one. And we were very nervous and excited at the same time that both of our babies were going to be close in age. So that was very an exciting time. Around the time we found out that we were actually having a boy, they did a more in-depth ultrasound at my regular clinic and decided that I was going to need to see a high-risk doctor as well. So they sent me to the perinatology clinic here where we live, and they were able to um, give more diagnosis of what was going on with our baby, and we decided to name him Will. And so um, we went through that pregnancy just knowing that something was going to be wrong when he was born. They really couldn't tell very much while I was pregnant, but I started having medical issues towards the end, and actually multiple times during the pregnancy, the high risk doctor tried to get us to abort, but we couldn't do that to ourselves, to him. What if he had the chance to live? Um, we just couldn't put ourselves through that, and we know that that's not what God wanted us to do. So I carried him until I was 38 and a half weeks pregnant, so basically full term. And um, like I said, I started having medical issues, so they just decided it was time. Um, I had him via C-section, so they were very concerned with how things were going to go. So they had triple the amount of medical staff in that operating room when I delivered him. And they were very concerned with how things were going to go. But he was born fine. He went straight to the NICU and had to have immediate medical attention. This is a picture of me once they got me settled when I went into the NICU to hold him. He was on a ventilator. Um, he was born 6 pounds 12 ounces, and he was 18 inches long. He was born on a Friday night, and so that whole night, were able to stay with him. Our parents got the chance to spend time with him, and just different family members that we knew would want to see him and spend time with him. So we basically had the option of how long we kept him alive. So in those 15 hours, he was just so loved, and he was so cherished and treasured, and we just did not take that time for granted. And it's something that I'm so thankful for, that not a lot of people who go through the infant loss and stillbirth and miscarriages, they don't get to have. And I'm so thankful for that time that we got with him and just getting to spend that time with him. There's an organization that comes to our hospital called Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, and actually they're an international organization. And when you have a stillbirth or an infant loss, they will come to the hospital and take pictures of your baby once they get your baby cleaned up and everything else. And it's a great organization. If you like giving to nonprofit organizations, it's great because the photographer doesn't charge you for the pictures or anything like that. They are strictly volunteer photographers that will come and take pictures of you and your baby. And this is one of those pictures that we got back. They're great, great pictures that we hold on to so dearly. So, where are we now? Um, it's hard to believe that my husband and I are 28 and 29, and we've gone through the loss of three children. And there's lots of people who say, it's y'all's young age, y'all have been through so much. But thankfully, that we have the discernment of knowing Christ and knowing that He is the one who has got us through, and He's the one that's pulled us through all of these storms, and He's given us our rainbow baby and child to hold on to when those times get hard, and we hold on to Him and we cling to Him during those storms. And not every day is easy. There's been times where we've questioned, even being strong Christians, we question why us? Why do other people get to have healthy pregnancies and healthy children and not be able to take care of them, and we can, and why us? But God just gives us this overwhelming peace each time it feels like that we ask why. And we have learned that, God is not the God that we need to question. And there's a reason for everything that He does. And for that, I'm so thankful. And I'm thankful for the fact that God puts that trust in us that we can handle this type of situation to minister to others. So these are just some ways that you can help. Prayer. Prayer is so strong. And pray for bereaved parents. We need it desperately. Pray for children and siblings of these babies that have passed away that don't understand, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles and cousins, because it doesn't just affect the parents, it affects everyone. And one of the big things is whenever your baby's born, a lot of hospitals in the United States actually will give you gowns to bury your baby in if you don't have anything, or some people aren't prepared for losing their child. And so if you donate your wedding dress, they will make gowns or outfits out of that, and the hospital has a place to store them and give to um, you for that to that family to bury their child in. And your money. My husband and I are part of an organization here in West Tennessee called Heaven's Cradle, and you can look that up online. And it is just a great organization that has helped us with just actually today there was a service for us, and we do 5Ks during the year just to help raise money and awareness in Tennessee and West Tennessee, particularly, that helps families who've gone through these losses um, with support, medical support, social worker support, and just being a community with each other. And it's been great. So if they have a place where you can donate online on their website too. So um, that is the end of my presentation. Um, I hope that you might have learned something new about um, miscarriages, stillbirths, infant loss, and gotten a new perspective and insight from somebody who's been through that, not just once, but twice. And I appreciate you listening. Thank you.